Hello, hello. How is everyone doing this fabulous Monday? Happy Monday, everybody. Happy magical Monday. And today really is a magical Monday, is it not? We have a solar eclipse to talk about today. That's going to take a lot of our time today. We're just still going to shoot the shit, chat a little bit, drink some tea, and all that good stuff, and talk about lovely magical things and do some card readings and all that stuff that we do on Magical Mondays. But really, we are going to talk about the solar eclipse today because it's a big deal. It is a big freaking deal. So cheers, hello, good morning, and thank you for joining me today. I hope you had a magical, if you were here with me yesterday, then we're doing a morning tea time. If you were with me 3 weeks ago on my last Magical Monday, there's been a lot of magic happening in my life. However, doing the Magical Mondays is clearly not one of them because I can be a lazy ass and sometimes it doesn't happen. But hey, that's okay because I'm here now, right? Good morning, Bella, my sister. How you doing, honey? Cheers, cheers, and good morning and hello. So yeah, the solar eclipse today. I know everybody's super excited about it. Maybe not everybody. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there in the world that are just like, meh, whatever. But you know what? It's a big freaking deal, like I said. So the eclipse, I think the last total solar eclipse that we had now, and I should probably look this up. I have a lot of phone stuff today because, I'm not terribly versed on solar eclipse and astrology, no know-how and no stuff. I'm not good at that stuff, but I respect it and I feel it. I know that energies happen, right? We have to understand that. Energies happen, full moon energies, new moon energies, sun, eclipse energies. It all affects us in a certain way. Planetary alignments and movings of constellations and whatnot. It all affects us in some way or another, even if we think it's just hokey bullshit. That's fine. You can believe that. But know that you're still going to feel the shit anyway. So it's whatever. But I want to look up, okay, when was the last 100% totality solar eclipse in Northern America, right? Total solar eclipse in Northern America. That's what I thought. It was kind of a long time ago. The path of totality of the eclipse brought it over Wadesboro, North Carolina in 1918. So we're talking 70 some odd years ago that the last total 100 totality eclipse, solar eclipse totality. How do you want to say that? I don't know. Went through the Northern American states, allowing us to see it in full view. Now, we've had all kinds of partial solars and moon and whatnot, but a total solar eclipse on this side of the hemisphere, okay, is pretty spectacular. Heck yeah. So, excuse me, let me not choke up here. The total solar eclipse was visible from Washington to Florida, according to the Park Service. It was the last time a total solar eclipse would be visible across the entire continent for nearly 100 years. So, freaking cool, right? Freaking cool. I think solar eclipses are just they're so awesome because, there's so many things that happen that you don't realize, even with just the naked eye. Like, for instance, if you go outside today during the solar eclipse and you look to see, now this might happen on partial eclipses maybe. Again, I'm not super versed in this stuff, so please correct me if I'm wrong. It's okay. But there's a lot of times you'll have fun little shadows that create themselves on the ground from the solar eclipse in the sky, the partial eclipse, whatever's going on. And you just don't realize it until you actually take a look around and you see what's going on. It's pretty freaking cool. Pretty freaking cool, man. All right, so that was a nice little tidbit of information to start us off today. 1918 was the last total solar eclipse across the United States. And we're getting another one today. So for me, my time that I can view this is anywhere. I think it's like from 3. I actually looked the time up as well. I got all kinds of little tabs going on here so that I can talk to you guys about this stuff. So I'm in Michigan, as you may or may not know. I'm in Michigan. By the way, hello. I didn't even say really hello to you guys. I'm Amber, and welcome to Crafty Hippie Witch, Amber Lalana. This is me. I am she, and I am here to bring you magic and positivity. So Magical Mondays, here we are talking about the solar eclipse. So I'm in Michigan. I'm in northern Michigan. I'm in Alpena. So when I looked at the times and the percentage of, so I'm not going to see it in totality, right? I'm way too north, so I'll be able to see it, but I won't be able to be directly in that total path. That's okay. You know, I'm happy with what I'll see. Oh, where did it go? Okay, so in Detroit, if you're in the Detroit area, the eclipse begins at 1:58 p.m. The maximum eclipse is going to be at 3:14 p.m. and the eclipse ends at 4:27 p.m. Okay, so 3:13 is when my Detroit people, or anybody in that vicinity, if you will, is going to have that full totality to take a look at. Me, however, and that's going to be 99.2%. Like you're going to have almost full, because you're not completely at 100%, right? The total path, you're still going to have a little bit off. Luna Pier, Michigan is going to have 100%. Okay, at 3:13. Alpena, we're going to get 90%. We're going to get 90%. It's going to start at 2:01 for us. It's going to be at 3:15. We're going to be having it at totality, and it will finish at 4:27. So here in Alpena, at about 3:15 in the afternoon, or anywhere between 3 and 3:30, basically, or really anywhere between 1 and 4, I'll be outside. So one of the things about eclipses is when you look at them, and we're going to dig into other things about the eclipse. Like, why does everybody think it's the end of the world? What are some premonitions and things and how did, historically people react to solar eclipses? And also astrologically, what does it mean to you and for you? All these things we're going to deep dive, not really deep. We don't go deep, not with this stuff. We're going to dive into it. We're not going to go too deep though. We've got some internet, what is that called? It's internet information. They're internet articles. That's what they are. They're articles, internet articles to help us along on our solar eclipse know-how today. Yes, indeed. Cheers, Real Madrid. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing great. It's good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Annie N, hello, darling. Good morning. Joshua, hello. Brain Jerk Entertainment. How are you? Don't come down to Monroe or Luna Pier. All roads are already overly jam-packed. And that's another thing I've heard, actually, Josh, is the sheer amount of people trying to get within this path of the eclipse to see it this year, today alone, is astronomical, so to speak. It's going to be a fucking zoo out there. It is going to be a straight fucking zoo during the times where the total eclipse is happening. And I guarantee you it's going to be all over the US. It's not just going to be in the path of the eclipse. One thing I did find as I was scrolling through my media the other day is that the Airbnbs and the bookings and the whatnot, the hotels and this, that, and the other, everything in that little bitty path, that's going across the United States, everything is 100% solid booked. Don't you dare thinking about getting a freaking room anywhere tonight. I tell you, I've heard that schools might be closing today. I don't know about businesses closing, but it is a historical event. It really is. And we have some witchy people who are absolutely like 100% on ball with this. We have the astronomers 100% like, holy shit, this is happening. Like, there are a lot of people who respect and love the astrology world and what it does. And a solar eclipse is definitely, especially a total solar eclipse in northern Illinois, or where do you say Illinois? I used to live in northern Illinois. Northern, I almost said Michigan. I'm trying to say America. It's America. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Let's have some more coffee because maybe I need some. This isn't even coffee. This is okay. It's a day already because I don't drink coffee anymore. I drink tea and mud water, and I call it coffee, and I'm calling everything and what it's not. So great. We're off to a good start. Jason. Hello, Jason Genner. Hello. Hi, ho, friend. From my wife and I. Hello, hello. My kids they did not have school. Okay, yeah. I've heard a lot of that. I've heard a lot that it's just take them out because it's going to be ridiculous anyway. And that's the time that they get out of school, right? Generally. So they're going to have to just mess with the crazy traffic that's out there. It's going to be nuts, but it's going to be something you don't want to miss today. So what I was actually going to go into is the vision, right? We all get warned when it's eclipse season, and now rolls into we're starting our 2024 eclipse season. There's plenty of eclipses coming our way. This one's the big one though. And looking at eclipses, like if you look at the sun, I know there's a thing called sun gazing. I don't really know much about that, but if you even if you look at the sun directly in itself in a day, like don't fuck with your eyes. You only get like one set, and I already can't see as it is. So if you don't have solar eclipse glasses, then I would suggest looking online or going to like YouTube or something like that and finding out how you can create one, because let's get real. We haven't always had solar eclipse glasses. This is a new modern thing. So how did people look at the solar eclipse without jacking up their eyes in the past? They would create little pinhole things to look at it in reflection, and stuff like that. You can even look at it through your phone. Now, you might not get the greatest picture, but you're not looking directly at it, right? And I think that's the big deal. Don't look directly at it. You could seriously damage your eyes. So, and I looked this up to just know exactly what it would do to you, right? Looking directly at the sun during an eclipse, or at any time for that matter, can cause retinal and ocular damage, leading to irreversible blindness or partial vision loss. So even looking at the sun directly for a few seconds can cause irreparable harm. So, maybe that's why my eyes are so bad, because I feel like I've looked at the sun a few times in my life. I don't know. But it's just something that you want to keep aware of. If you have some solar eclipse glasses, make sure you have them on you for today. If you want to go, if they're probably all sold out by now, I can imagine, because everybody's trying to get ready for it. I don't have solar eclipse glasses. I'm probably going to try to make something or view it through a camera or something like that. So I looked up, if you don't have solar eclipse glasses, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? If you don't have a pair of solar eclipse glasses, a Ritz or saltine cracker, a colander, or a slotted spoon, a serving spoon with holes in it. Don't despair. Look to the ground, particularly a white or gray sidewalk, and check out the shadows made by tree leaves. That's what I was talking about, the shadows on the ground. You can see the tree leaves and stuff like that. So that's interesting. What it's basically telling you is, like, use the pinholes and things to look at the reflection of it coming through. And I've never done this before. I don't know how that works exactly. I'm not too brainy for this one, because I don't know exactly how that works. But there is a lot of different things out there that you can create and make your own. And that might actually be something kind of fun to do with your kids. If you've got kids that are, if they're out of school today and you're like, hey, how about it's craft day? How about we make a solar eclipse viewing box? And you could take a shoe box. You could take a cereal box. I've heard cereal boxes work. And you do like little pinholes with some aluminum foil. And again, I don't know how to do it, but I know that you can. So look it up and do some crafting today before the solar eclipse comes, so you can see the damn thing. That would be fun, yeah? Yeah, man. So yeah, that would be, I'm excited. Oh, I'm so excited right now, even more, because first of all, we started with a pretty cloudy morning. And my husband didn't think it was going to clear up today for the eclipse. But right now, I am looking at totally blue skies over there. And I am thrilled. I think we're going to be able to see it today. Let's just hope we don't blind ourselves. All right, so let's talk some more about the eclipse. But first, actually, I want to go into our daily Celtic lore. We do this on the daily. We do some positivity on the daily, and we're going to do that before we get into more eclipse stuff, I think. Let's do that. So, happiness. Are you happy today? What kind of magic has been in your life recently? That's what I want to know. Magical things. Look at what I made. I think crochet is magic. You just like wind up knots and creates things. It's fucking magic. I made a yip yip. I made a black yip yip, which is not normal, I guess, because, you know, they're usually pretty brightly colored. He's goth, you know, whatever. But I made a yip yip. I'm going to put these on the store. I'm going to make a bunch of these for, this is really, I guess you could put it in anywhere. Yip, 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 yip. You could put it anywhere, but I kind of made it for a car accessory. So you can put it up there. You can kind of put whatever you need to put in here. But it's super cute. I love it. I think it's adorable. It's a new little Yip Yip product that I have that we're going to craft away on, and we're going to put it on my store, on my website, and we're going to make them ready for farmers market and craft events. This guy, I think, is pretty popular now. And one thing I want to ask you guys, we're talking about the eyes here. Do you think it would be better if I had bigger eyeballs or the smaller eyeballs? Because I used the smallest size I had because I was thinking they're kind of small. So let's put smaller eyeballs on. But I don't know if they look kind of funny with the smaller eyeballs on. They might look better with bigger eyeballs on. Like, what if it was bigger? I don't know. That is my question to you guys in opinion. What do you think? What do you think about my little goth yip yip? And I think what I'll do, it's going to be kind of cool, actually. I'll end up doing like little appliques, so I can put little appliques on them, and they could be kind of themed, if you will. I'll have like maybe, you know, an evil eye, so to speak, on the front of this guy. Maybe he's your protection, yip yip, you know, things like that. Why not? Why not? So he's cute. That's my magical make this weekend that I did, amongst other things, of course, because I'm making all the time. So it's all good. Okay. I found a really awesome quote in the happiness book. Happiness cannot come from without. It must come from within. It is not what we see and touch or that which others do for us, which makes us happy. It is that which we think, feel, and do. First for the other fellow, and then for ourselves. Keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see the shadow. From Helen Keller. I thought that was beautiful. I thought that was a really wonderful, especially the end of it, you know, keep your face to the sunshine, and you cannot see your shadow. Keep positivity ahead of you and keep the negativity behind you. Essentially is what that is, and I fucking love that. Positivity, everybody. All right, so today is April 8th. Let's see what oh God, I cannot talk today. The Handbook of Celtic Lore. What are we going to learn about that today? April 8th. April 8th. What is the best thing man can have? A life that's even, just, and brave. A Welsh proverb. Celtic wisdom. So, a little thing to think about there. What is the best thing a man can have? Are you a man? What is the best thing that you can have? Modern days are going to be completely different answers, but the answer here, the Welsh proverb, a life that's even, just, and brave. Love it. Love it. It's beautiful. Beauteous, beauteous. Okay. Real quick, we're going to do a little magic because I want to get into this solar eclipse stuff, and I think it's going to take a minute. I want to do some magic. We're going to do the Crystal Bible flip. If you're with me on previous Magical Mondays, we just choose a random spot, like right there, looks good, and we read about it and we learn about it. And what do we have here? We have tiger's eye. Oh, this is one of my favorite stones. I love that we got this one today. Tiger's eye today. Gorgeous. So that is, like I said, one of my favorite stones. I just love. I have some tiger. Let me get into my little rock collection. I'm gonna grab some tiger's eye to show you. If I can find it. It's a smaller specimen. It's not the largest tiger eye. Believe me, I'd love a nice big one. But it is definitely one of my favorites. You can see how it just glistens, that iridescence in there. Look at that. Isn't that quite the stone? Tiger's eye. It's one of the most beautiful stones, I think. But you know what? All stones, they're all great. So this one shows what it looks like raw, and that shows what it looks like tumbled. I clearly have a tumbled one, and that's generally what they look like. Like you don't see a lot of raw tiger's eye in the market. They're all generally tumbled. Okay, so the color is generally brown, pink, brown, yellow, which is very general, pink, blue, and red. Banded, slightly shiny, often small and tumbled. So this might actually be a larger piece considering they're smaller in general anyway. It is easily obtained. It's not super rare. The source is the United States, Mexico, India, Australia, and South Africa. So it's really worldwide. The attributes of a tiger's eye combines the earth energy with the energies of the sun to create a high vibrational state that is nevertheless grounded. Drawing the spiritual energies to earth. Placed on the third eye, it enhances psychic abilities in earthly people and balances the lower chakras, stimulating the rise of the Kundalini energy. The tiger's eye is a protective stone that was traditionally carried as a talisman against ill wishing and curses. It shows the correct use of power and brings out integrity. It assists in accomplishing goals, recognizing inner resources, and promoting clarity of intention. Placed on the navel chakra, tiger's eye is excellent for people who are spaced out or uncommitted. It grounds and facilitates manifestation of the will. Tiger's eye anchors change into the physical body. This stone is useful for recognizing both your needs and those of other people. It differentiates between wishful thinking about what you want and what you really need. Mentally, tiger's eye integrates the hemispheres of the brain and enhances practical perception. It aids in collecting scattered information to make a coherent whole. It is helpful for resolving dilemmas and internal conflicts, especially those brought about by pride and willfulness. Tiger's eye is particularly useful for healing mental dis-ease and personality disorders. Psychologically, tiger's eye heals issues of self-worth, self-criticism, and blocked creativity. It aids in recognizing one's talents and abilities and, conversely, faults that need to be overcome. It supports an addictive personality in making changes. Emotionally, tiger's eye balances yin-yang and energizes the emotional body. It alleviates depression and lifts moods. Feel the vibration. Ooh, ooh, feel the vibration. Come on, come on, come on. Feel it, feel it. Healing. Tiger's eye treats the eyes and aids night visions. heals the throat and reproductive organs, and dissolves constrictions. It is helpful for repairing broken bones. Position. Wear on the right arm or as a pendant for short periods. Position on the body as appropriate in healing. Place on the navel chakra for spiritual grounding. So there are specific colors. In addition to the generic attributes, specific colors of tiger's eye have specific properties. So we have your general, which is like all of the above, right? We have a blue tiger's eye. It is calming and releases stress. It aids in the over-anxious, quick-tempered, and phobic. In healing, blue tiger's eye slows the metabolism, cools an overactive sex drive, and dissolves sexual frustrations. Very interesting. A blue tiger's eye. A gold tiger's eye, which this could be considered gold, I think, on the gold spectrum anyway. The gold tiger's eye aids in paying attention to detail, warning against complacency. It assists in taking action from a place of reason rather than emotion. Gold tiger's eye is an excellent companion for tests and important meetings. The red tiger's eye is a stimulating stone that overcomes lethargy and provides motivation. In healing, it speeds up a slow metabolism and increases a low sex drive. A specific form, in addition to the generic properties, a type of tiger's eye has the following properties. Hawk's eye. Ooh, a different one, a hawk's eye. Additional properties of a hawk's eye, abandoned hawk-like form of tiger's eye. So this is what this looks like, this picture here. And there's, let me put a light on so we can actually see. I highly doubt that did anything. I don't think that did a damn thing. But let's see if we can kind of see. Oh, yeah, there's no lighting in here. None at all. Let me get this little funky little light going on so that you can kind of see the details of this guy here. I need a light. I need a light. Okay. Doing things with no eyes and one hand can be difficult sometimes. Woo, it's a little better. Woo, that's a little better. All right, let's see if we can see this picture now. Kind of want to get a good look of what this hawk's eye is, right? This hawk's eye is kind of banded in a way that is different from what you usually see. So here is the blue tiger's eye and the red tiger's eye. They have slight, it's a slight hue difference. The hawk's eye looks to be, it has an actual circle within the main thing. So that is very interesting. Would love to find a hawk's eye one. That would be cool. So let's read about hawk's eye. A banded hawk-like form of tiger's eye. Hawk's eye is an excellent stone for healing the earth's energy and for grounding energy. It stimulates and invigorates the physical body. Soaring above the world, hawk's eye aids vision and insight and increases psychic abilities such as clairvoyance. Hawk's eye clears and energizes the base chakra. Placed in the wealth corner of the room, wealth as in money, wealth. Hawk's eye attracts abundance. Hawk's eye is particularly good for dissolving restrictive and negative thought patterns and ingrained behavior. It brings issues onto perspective, ameliorates pessimism, and the desire to blame others for problems of your own making. The stone will also bring to the surface locked-in emotions and dis-ease from the present or past lives. Placed on the third eye, hawk's eye aids in traveling back to the source of an emotional blockage, whenever that might be. Healing. The hawk's eye improves the circulatory system, bowels, and legs. It can bring to the surface the psychosomatic reasons behind a frozen shoulder or stiff neck. Position, hold, or place on appropriate spot. So hawk's eye, tiger's eye, sounds like a winner chicken dinner. I feel like I really need to get my hands on a hawk's eye. That sounds amazing, does it not? What's your take on that stuff, you guys? What do you think? What do you think? All right. Now that we learned about tiger's eye and hawk's eye, tiger's eye, put that right there. We're going to get back into the solar eclipse again. Is anybody planning? What is your plan today to watch the solar eclipse? Do you have a plan today to watch the solar eclipse? That's what I want to know. Okay, so we're going to talk about the superstitious aspect of the solar eclipses, a little bit of a historical viewpoint of that. And then we'll talk about the astrological process of it all and how it's going to affect us. Okay, so let me find the article I found because it's pretty cool. All right, here we go. It's going to be a read, so sit tight. It's a good one, I think. The solar eclipse on Monday, April 8th, which is today. This is an article from WKRN News 2, wherever that may be. Will be the last opportunity to view a total solar eclipse from the contiguous United States for 20 years. You guys, it's going to be another 20 years before we see another one of these things in the United States. Okay, this is why it's a little bit special. States and cities are prepared for an influx of people visiting the path of totality, and that fascination is nothing new. Eclipses show up in historical records and mythology dating back millennia. The history of eclipses. The oldest definitive solar eclipse on record dates to around 1200 BCE, when scribes in China recorded eclipses on ox bones and tortoise shells. But it's possible there's an even earlier record in a series of spiral-shaped and circular petroglyphs, Lord have mercy, I'm having a hard time today, found in Ireland that date to 3340 BCE. Records of eclipses have been recorded in petroglyphs made by the early Pueblo people as well as the Maya, who kept extensive records on astronomical events. Religious texts also mention eclipses, including the Bible and the Quran, and connect them with significant events. The description of a red moon following the crucifixion of Jesus appears to depict a lunar eclipse, and in the Quran, a solar eclipse is said to have occurred before the birth of Muhammad. Swallowing the sun. While ancient people may not have understood the science behind eclipses the way we do in modern times, there were plenty of explanations offered in myth and folklore. For many ancient cultures, a solar eclipse was a sign of doom or destruction. Ancient Greeks saw a solar eclipse as a sign the gods were angry at the king. Other cultures had legends related to the disappearance, many describing a deity or other entity as swallowing the sun to explain the sudden darkness. In ancient Egypt, the serpent Apep, a spirit of evil and chaos, was said to swallow the sun god Ra, requiring an army of other deities to fight Apep and cut him open to release Ra and prevent the world from being plunged into darkness. Vikings believed an eclipse occurred when the wolf Skull, who pursued the sun goddess Sol across the sky, finally catches up with her. If Skull succeeds in swallowing Sol and plunging the world into darkness, it heralds the start of Ragnarok, a battle between the gods and the end of the world. In Hindu mythology, the battle between Surya, the sun, and demigod Rahu, who was attempting to obtain immortality, is one version of the myth. Rahu is beheaded for his efforts, and his head continues to chase Surya, attempting to devour him. Oop, I got a little choked up on that one. Princess Jasmine, hello, hello. Good to see you. I'll take a glimpse, but no watching today. I really feel drained. It could be the eclipse energy. Like, I actually have a thing. My husband is the moon, like, keeps him awake. He's a moon man, for sure. The full moon, when it's a full moon I'm talking about, the full moon puts me to sleep. So energies affect people very differently. So just go with it. Just go with whatever your body needs. And that's what I say. Don't force yourself. A little peek at the historical happenings is just fine. Cheers, Glitter World. Good morning, everybody. In ancient China, myths told of a dragon swallowing the sun, while South American myths say it was a leopard. In Vietnam, it's a giant frog who swallows the sun, and in Korea, a pack of dogs. One thing many of these myths have in common is the response, urging people who are viewing the eclipse to beat drums, bang on pots and pans, and otherwise make a big commotion to scare away the entity trying to swallow up the night. Not the night, the light. To swallow up the light. Argument and reconciliation. Not all explanations for the eclipse are so negative. That's a different one. Tlingit. The Tlingit tribes in North America believe the sun and moon were having more children, a reference to stars and planets that appear visible during the eclipse but can't otherwise be seen. In Africa, the Batamaliba people saw an eclipse as the sun and moon fighting and took it as a sign to put aside grudges and end feuds. So they saw them as fighting and they decided, you know what, if those guys are going to fight, maybe we should stop. I like that one. The Inuit, the sun and moon were brother and sister who were fighting with each other. An eclipse meant the moon, Anagan, who had caught up with Melina, the sun. In Suriname, the Kalina also believe the sun and moon are quarreling siblings, and an eclipse means the fighting has become violent, with one knocking the other out. In German mythology, the sun and moon are married, and an eclipse is a moment when the couple unite. Tahitians have a similar myth, telling of the sun and moon of lovers who got lost in the moment. Our modern superstition, while ancient myths attempted to explain eclipses without having the same scientific knowledge we have today, superstitions around the phenomenon still exist. Modern superstition around eclipses include the idea that pregnant women should not look at the eclipse. Really, nobody should really look at the eclipse without protection. Food shouldn't be made during an eclipse, or that it's unsafe to be outside. Of course, even with scientific knowledge, some still see an eclipse as a sign of end times, including those who believe it will lead to the rapture and those who think it will herald the collapse of a simulation we are all living in. One eclipse myth remains true, however. Don't look directly at the sun. To view the eclipse, or you'll risk damaging your eyes, make sure to use eclipse glasses instead, or like I was talking about before, create your own little eclipse viewing mechanism. So yeah, that is a little bit of history on how people saw and view the eclipses that were happening. So that is really interesting. I really like that. That was a great article, and it touched on a lot of different ancestry and their beliefs in the past. I love that. I actually have a question concerning menstruation eclipse. My emotions are all over the place. Oh, okay. Well, it's good to rest. It sounds like your body needs the rest. It really does. Grand rising moon. Hell yeah. Okay, let's get into a little bit of astrology for this eclipse, okay? This is another article. Again, I'm not versed on all this just off the top of my head, so I have to read about it. Read all about it. And then I share it with you so that you have it all in one spot if you so choose to watch. All right, so get ready for the solar eclipse in Aries to change you. So this is interesting. It's a solar eclipse in Aries. And we know Aries is a very forward sign, very forward driving sign, right? It's like it's the top of the zodiac. So, you know, things could get a little interesting around this time. It could feel a little something. By now, you've probably heard about the massive solar eclipse that's moving across the United States on April 8th, smack in the middle of Mercury retrograde. On Monday afternoon, along the path of totality, stretching from Texas through Maine, day will temporarily become night as the moon blocks the sun. This, of course, is a major deal astronomically. But what does it mean astrologically? What does it signify and who's going to be affected? Read on for everything you need to know about this upcoming solar eclipse. So this is an article by The Cut. Okay, it's called The Cut. What actually happens during an eclipse? So a little science thing here. As you already know, the moon spins around the Earth, moving through 8 distinctive phases across its 29.5-day orbit. But did you also know that the moon's orbital axis, its ecliptic plane, is actually on a tilt? So, as the moon moves across its orbit and up and down on its tilt, it moves from lower to higher and back again. The top and bottom points of the moon's ecliptic plane are referred to as the lunar nodes. In astrological terminology, the north and south nodes. Okay? See, these are things that I learn all the time too, and I have to repeat and learn and relearn everything anyway. So that's where your north and south nodes come in, not modes. So what do eclipses mean in astrology, not astrology, astrology? The north and south nodes are powerful placement. The south node corresponds with past life, spiritual baggage, and the innate gifts we brought into this lifetime. The north node, by contrast, is the lessons your soul needs to acquire. It reveals the passions, talents, and growth you need to harness in order to reach your full potential. And collectively, these 2 points, the north and south nodes, are linked to destiny. How does this relate to the eclipse? Well, my friend, in order for an eclipse to take place, the sun and moon need to sync up with the north and south node. At these points, the sun, moon, and earth meet in perfect alignment, forming either lunar eclipses, also known as blood moons, when the moon reflects the dark shadow of the earth, corresponding with full moons, or solar eclipses, when the moon blocks the sun, corresponding with new moons. It's also important to note that eclipses always travel in pairs. The lunar eclipse we experienced 2 weeks ago was a precursor to the April 8th solar eclipse. So when we refer to an eclipse season, it's during a moment of back-to-back eclipses, when everything that takes place is fated, destined, and extremely karmically important. You know, casual things. What happens during an eclipse? For literally thousands of years, eclipses have portended large-scale metamorphosis, status quo shakedowns, shifts in authority and power, and collective transformation. In fact, both ancient and modern astrologers believe that eclipses have the power to change the course of history, that events that coincide with eclipses are literally written in the stars. No big deal. When it comes to the lasting power and implications of eclipses, hindsight is always 20/20. But from the astrological perspective, we know that, thanks to the north and south node activation, eclipses will certainly catalyze major endings, beginnings, and notable transformations in our lives. What should I know about the solar eclipse on April 8th? On the afternoon of Monday, April 8th, the solar eclipse will journey across the United States. This eclipse is a total solar eclipse, which means the moon will cover the sun and those on the path of totality will experience a complete daytime blackout. Wild. Oh, and this is the last total solar eclipse to cross the United States until 2044. 20 years. I already mentioned that. Astrologically, this solar eclipse is taking place at 19 degrees Aries, Eclipses are part of zodiacal series that take approximately 2 years to unfold. Likewise, this upcoming solar eclipse is the fourth lunation of a six-part series on the Aries Libra axis. Earlier eclipses occurred on April 20th of 2023, October 14th of 2023, and March 25th of 2024. And future eclipses in the series will take place on October 2nd, 2024, and March 29th, 2025. Eclipse stories unfold over time, so I recommend looking back to the previous dates of this eclipse series to see what events synced up with those powerful cosmic happenings. So, what happened to you last year in April? What happened to you last year in October? What happened to you at the end of March? These are all things that may lead to the changing and transitioning that's happening in your life. Very cool. Since Aries, the first sign of the zodiac, is all about me, themes relating to autonomy, identity, and freedom will be front and center during this upcoming eclipse. Aries symbolizes passion. I lost my spot. Aries symbolizes passion and courage, boasting fierce confidence and trailblazing ingenuity. Believe me, I know, because my husband is an Aries. Accordingly, this eclipse is inviting us to tap into our inner strength and fortitude. So, because this eclipse finds itself in the Aries sign, we are pushed, if you will, to take on these Aries characteristics of confidence, of going out and getting it, right? What do we really want? And how will we achieve our goals? And just as the moon blocks the sun during the solar eclipse, we'll glean insight into whatever is standing in our way, whether we're being held back by unfulfilling relationships, shitty jobs, or even the limitations of our physical location. This solar eclipse will illuminate whatever is stifling potential and hindering our truth. Another thing to note about this upcoming solar eclipse is that it's making an exact conjunction to Chiron, the comet we lovingly refer to as the wounded healer. Excuse me, Chiron exposes our deepest emotional scars and teaches us how we can transform pain into power. So with Chiron involved in this upcoming solar eclipse, it's clear that this solar eclipse has major healing potential of our destiny. We can't be afraid to face our fears. So what zodiac signs will be impacted by the solar eclipse? In my opinion, I think every damn one of them, but let's see what this says. While folks with planets or points in Aries may feel this a bit more acutely, everyone will be impacted by the solar eclipse. Check your birth chart to see which zodiac house Aries occupies. That's the area in your life where you'll feel the eclipse most. Remember, eclipses catalyze major change on both individual and collective levels. These major cosmic occurrences spare no one. Eclipses are known to speed up time by perpetuating the inevitable. In other words, whatever was going to happen eventually, i.e., breaking up, moving to a new city, starting a different career path, will be expedited during an eclipse. Don't be surprised if major life-changing milestones and all the corresponding drama are piling up right now. Eclipse season chaos is a very real phenomenon. So grab your eclipse glasses. Please don't look directly at the sun. Thank you. And get ready for this powerful cosmic event that is guaranteed to change your life. Remember that the universe has a funny way of communicating. Even if it feels like things are falling apart, trust that they are actually just rearranging in a better, more sustainable way. Somehow everything is working out exactly as it should. Believe that, trust that, have faith in that. The universe has your back. Happy solar eclipse. That was a great article, probably my favorite so far that I've read. And I think that was the last article I had for today's solar eclipse focused Magical Monday. Great points. I actually, for me, and I'd love to hear about you with you guys out there. on your signs, your zodiacs. Do you know your zodiac sign? Do you know your birth chart? And do you know where you have Aries in your birth chart that could make an acutely, it could be acutely felt during this solar eclipse? I myself do not. I have no Aries in my chart at all whatsoever. Not one. I do have some Leo. Okay. I got some fire in my chart, but I don't have a whole lot of fire in my chart. I'm a lot of water and I'm a lot of air. But that's okay. But yeah, you want to see, if you don't know what your birth chart is and you want to find out what your birth chart is, there is so many different free websites out there. Make sure you look for free. There's no need to pay for them because there are free ones out there, or even apps on your phone. A lot of the apps will give you, like, portions of your birth chart and you have to pay for the rest, that kind of thing. But you can get a decently full chart for nothing on the internet. You need to know 3 things. You need to know where you were born. You need to know where you were born, when you were born, okay, the time you were born. Okay, so not only the place, not only the date, you need to know the time. That's important because that is what determines all of your other, you have your sun sign, which, that is a long period of time. But your moon and all the other planet signs, those are short periods of time. And minutes matter. Minutes matter when you look at that stuff in your chart. I am a Capricorn rising. If I would have been born hours before or after, I would have been something completely different rising. So it matters the time that you were born. If you're looking for your birth chart, or if you're looking to see what Aries is in your birth chart, find a new one and know those things. Look at your birth certificate if you need to, and plug in the info and you will get your birth chart. You'll find what Aries is somewhere in your birth chart. You will also find out what the planets even mean. Again, I'm not versed on astrology. I've got books galore because I'm a book nerd, but have I studied it to the degree that I need to? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So let's dig into the last part of our show, our Magical Monday show, as I take another sip of tea. We're going to do some card readings to end it off today for our Solar Eclipse Monday. Your Aries is in the 7th house. So it's on brand on how I'm feeling. Okay. And I don't know much about the 7th house and the houses and the planets and things like that. I mean, I know them to a degree, but I don't know the details of what they represent. So it's good that you know what is affecting you and why. So I'm very glad that I mentioned that so that you can kind of see what the fuck's going on, right? I'm a Libra. Oh, look at you. Okay, so Princess Jasmine, we actually have some things in common here. Maybe not quite the same, but close. I'm a Libra sun. I'm a Virgo moon, a Capricorn rising, and my Scorpio is in Venus. I actually have what's called what's the name of it? Oh, I forgot. It's when you have the same sign in 3 areas of your chart. Stellium? The stellium? I have a stellium, I think it's what it's called, of Scorpio in my chart. So I've got 3 places of Scorpio. So might be why I'm a little bitey sometimes. All right. Our first card deck here. Let me get. We're going to do Crystal Oracle, the Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle. Okay. It's a real basic card deck. There's not a whole lot of artsy-fartsy stuff going on in this card deck. It's pretty simple and basic, but it has crystals, so I love it. And then we're also going to do The Universe Has Your Back. I like this one as a quickie because there's not a big book to read out of it. And, it's just a real simple message. And considering we have a very universal, epic thing happening today, the solar eclipse, I figured, what? The universe does have your back. Like I just said, trust the process of what may unfold for you, because your path unwinds the way it needs to, teaches you what it needs to by drama or things in your life. It's just, it's a thing. Okay, here we go. Let's do the crystal healing first. Where did I put the book that I just had for it? There it is. I'm a little bit of a mess right now. Okay, crystal healing. Let's see what the cards have for us today on this solar eclipse. This historical day. April 8th, solar eclipse energy. Ooh, these cards want to talk. I can already feel that energy. I got tingles all over from these cards, you guys. This is crazy. All right. So, solar eclipse. Solar eclipse day. What do you got for us? The crystal Willie, if I say it correctly, the crystal wisdom healing oracle. We'll take that one, even though I don't think that was the real message, but it is a message nonetheless. What messages do you have today? Slimy YouTube. Okay, we're going to take that one. We're going to take that. So we have two crystals today. We have the polychrome jasper, which is gorgeous. Look at that. I mean, I would love, love, love to have a stone that looks like that. Polychrome jasper. Okay, and then we also have a Priscilla blue stone. This is why I love this deck, because you see things that you don't necessarily see in books. Priscilla blue stone. That's a different one too. Let's read it. So we have number 31 and number 33. So we're in the 30s. And we've got 3 threes that pulled out. 31, the polychrome jasper, belonging. Polychrome jasper is a shaman stone that assists with traveling between worlds, offering protection while you travel, not while you sleep, while you travel. It helps you to remember why you are living on Earth. A self-understanding. You belong to a greater group, be it a family or clan. If you feel isolated, reach out to others out of strength rather than neediness. The stone offers you security. For companionship, choose an animal ally. Ground your efforts in the practical, everyday world. You have the gift of mediation and see all sides of an issue. Divination. Big changes are in the offing. Concentrate on practical outcomes. Be down to earth, but pay attention to dreams. Balance your emotional energies and nurture yourself to find joy. Find your power ally and stay under its protection and guidance. Give assistance to others who seek freedom. Guard against giving away your power. Healing insight. Dis-ease arises out of ancestral distrust carried in DNA. Healing and forgiveness sent down your family line. Replace this with Healing and forgiveness sent down your family line. Replace this with well-being. The frequency is earthy. The chakra is the spleen, under left armpit, Earth star and soma, mid-hairline. The timing, Leo, Libra, and Aquarius. The soul path, integration and reconnection. So that's what this one has in store for us. That's really nice. I feel like the whole traveling between worlds things and offering protection while you travel, and it helps to remember why you were living on Earth. I feel like that slightly coincides with the eclipse today. It's just like one of those things that you're like, this is excuse me, this is what I get to witness living here on this earth, all the magic that is literally in front of me. Yeah. Let's talk about Priscilla Bluestone, the inner compass. Okay. So this one's main was belonging. Okay. Belonging. You want to belong. The inner compass, Priscilla Bluestone. Priscilla Blustones planted healing energies from the land of the ancestors into a sacred healing landscape. This stone accesses past, present, and future. Self-understanding. You are an ancient shaman who has much wisdom to impart and the ability to journey through multiple dimensions in search of healing. You have unshakable core stability and an inner compass that directs you with integrity. Divination. Use natural medicine for ailments. Pay attention to your boundaries. Dig deep into the past. Access your memories and cut yourself free. Examine your deepest intentions and roots. Live in the present moment. Find your own direction and face challenges with equanimity. You have power to decide. Pay particular attention to your environment. Healing insight. Being true to yourself as the basis of all well-being, spiritual and physical. Frequency is earthy and high. Chakra is earth, star, and soma, which is the mid-hairline, same as the other one. Timing is Taurus, Sagittarius, and Capricorn. The soul path is developing a spiritual compass. Okay, this is a good one. Let me know if some of these resonate with you. I would love to hear if they do. Oh, thank you, Princess Jasmine. I really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you found me too. You know, funny thing is that I've actually been told that several times, that my voice is, I don't know, it's got a different type of frequency to it, I guess. I never realized it, but I have been told that a couple of times, so I do appreciate that. I'm glad it's relaxing, at least. I don't want to stress anybody out. All right, so last but not least, we are going to be doing The Universe Has Your Back today, because it does. She has your back. The universe absolutely has your back. Trust in that. Trust in that. And the solar eclipse day, you're going to be feeling all kinds of stuff, whether you're going to be tired, worn out, or jazzed up, or going through some inner turmoil, or maybe things are happening in your life that you didn't think were going to happen, or are surprises, or you were eventually going to take place, and now they're happening right now. This eclipse does a number on us. It will do a number on us. And the best thing to do, honestly, is when energies do that, don't fight it. Don't fight it. Give in to what it is you need. What is your body telling you you need? Like Princess Jasmine, she needs rest. Rest, my dear. Rest until you feel better. That's the goal. Always. To pay attention to your body, not to whatever's going on around you. Because your body needs you. Your body needs you. All right, universe, what do we want to tell everybody today? What message do you have today for the big solar eclipse? Whoa. I think that was more my fault than the universe, but we'll take them all because they're quick messages. There was definitely a universal message in there. Let's see, we've got 3 that popped out. So this is the back of these cards, and I think they're really cute. Aren't they cute? The universe has your back. So our first one, and they have cute art too. I am a spirit having a human experience and I'm here to get closer to love. I am a spirit having a human experience, and I'm here to get closer to love. Beautiful. Remember, we're not here to work ourselves to death. We're not here to make other people happy. We're here to love and to grow ourselves. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So true. My happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. Gorgeous. And last but not least, the more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. So remember, it's kind of like you are what you eat. The energy you put out, the intention you drive, that's what surrounds you, right? So pay attention to those energies, whether it is that you're feeling toxic, the people around you are toxic, whatever the case may be, just pay attention to those energies because they matter. Okay, everybody. It's about that time. I went a little over the hour that I usually try to get to because, like I said, it's solar eclipse and there's a lot to talk about. So I'm glad y'all stuck with me. If you're still here, I really appreciate you. I appreciate all of you that have joined as well as found me for the first time. Yay! Give me a like, give me a subscribe, give me a bell ring so you check the next one. Every day, I'm going to try to every day be here with a morning tea time chat. So we can talk about things there on the general. Every Monday, at least I try to do every Monday, is going to be a magical Monday. And this is what we do. We talk about magic. Magic in your life, magic in my life, magic in the universe. And we learn about things and positivity. So anyway, I digress. I'm going to exit stage left, which is that way. Much love to all of you. I appreciate you, and we will see you tomorrow.